Hello everyone, Zach here, and today we are going to be going over my remote viewing session results, part 1 on Anna Kepner. Now, everything that I discuss here is all alleged, only my opinion, and everyone we discuss is innocent until proven guilty. However, these are my results of my remote viewing session, part 1 on Anna Kepner. Now, as everyone knows that has watched my videos and follows along, and if you don't know, I target something every single time I do a remote viewing session. And during this session, my target was, is Timothy Hudson the cause of what happened to Anna Kepner? And also, does Timothy Hudson have these tendencies within him? Now, during my remote viewing session, when I channeled Timothy Hudson's emotions and how he feels on a daily, I was able to see not only the anger inside him, but how he feels day to day. And this is somebody that I believe is a psychopath, somebody that has the tendencies within him constantly, but suppresses them and tries to distance himself from them. And ultimately, I realized that Timothy Hudson is somebody who is extremely quiet. Now, this isn't public knowledge. This is something that I was able to figure out during my remote viewing session. And the reason that I believe Timothy Hudson is very quiet is because he's constantly suppressing these violent, sick fantasies and tendencies that he has within him. And I do believe Timothy Hudson is the cause of Anna Kepner's unaliving. And he is accused of not only unaliving Anna, but R-wording her as well. And I believe that the judge's decision to allow Timothy Hudson to walk free at this time, out on bond, he is still facing trial that will occur and happen in September. However, until then, Timothy Hudson is seemingly going to be out on bond and able to walk amongst us. I do not think that that is a good decision. However, I am not the judge. But either way, if Timothy Hudson somehow is able to beat this case and is amongst people in the free world, I believe that this will happen again because Timothy suppresses these feelings, these emotions, and these tendencies. I channeled and tapped into the energy within Timothy Hudson, and he definitely suppresses these urges from a day to day. But like all volcanoes, eventually they erupt. And on that cruise ship, on that day, Timothy decided to erupt and violently end Anna Kepner's life. Now, prosecutors are saying that Timothy allegedly strangled Anna for 3 to 5 minutes, ending her life. That's what they are. That's what they are saying happened. Now, I believe this to be correct. I believe that this was one of his tendencies and sick, violent fantasies. And this was due to certain addictions that he was fueling. You guys can imagine what I am talking about there. I think that that type of addiction is absolutely horrible because it paints that activity in a very bad way most of the time and allows these psychopaths to fuel and feed those violent fantasies. And I believe that these violent tendencies and fantasies started happening with Timothy around the age of 14. So about 2 years this was going on in his head. And ultimately, when he looked at Anna, this is what he thought. He thought of doing those sick fantasies that he was seeing in those, we'll call it, films. Now, if Timothy somehow didn't get caught for this, I believe this would have happened again and again until he did get caught. So I thank God that Timothy Hudson was caught for this. Now, I do not believe he should be walking amongst us, because if he walks amongst us for too long, this will happen again. He is very egotistical, very prideful, and they always do say you got to watch out for the quiet ones. And Timothy Hudson is a very, very quiet person. And that isn't by choice, that is by nature, because he is trying to hide what he really thinks, what he really feels, and who he really is. And ultimately, I do believe Timothy Hudson did this to Anna Kepner. And one of the sick things that I was shown and felt throughout this process, throughout this remote viewing session, was that Timothy Hudson actually enjoyed the final moments ending Anna Kepner's life. And that is very sick to think about, sick to hear, and sick to feel. But ultimately, that is what I was shown and felt during this remote viewing session, was that the last, I would say, 10 to 30 seconds of this was pure joy for Timothy Hudson, because of the act he was doing. Not the sexual one, I'm talking about the violent one, where allegedly he strangled Anna Kepner. That part gave him the most joy. And it pains me to say this, but when I do a remote viewing session, I do not get to choose what I am shown or feel. This is given to me through the aspects and through the spiritual realm. So ultimately, this is my remote viewing session, part 1 on Anna Kepner. And it is Zach here, and I'll see you guys in part 2 on the next video. But as I always say, without you guys, there'd be no me. I love you guys. It's Zach. Peace.